In a dream, Thunderbird came to me at my grandmother's house and brought me 3 fish. My name is Kathleen Williams. I'm an artisan, a scholar, and an activist, with dreams of sculpting homes and planting food forests. When people ask me what I do, I try to remember to say I'm a metalsmith and a mythologist. The metalsmithing part they get, like these etched and patinated copper mandalas that I made in collaboration with my sister Teresa Albright. She did the drawing and I did the rest. I love to collaborate, to join my gifts with the talents and visions of other artists and create something new together. These silver earrings are modeled by my sister Astrid Mier Itelan Ibaja. She's another one of my collaborators, and you'll see a painting of hers later on. Metalsmithing is a meditative practice for me. I draw inspiration from nature and the world's varied spiritual traditions, of which the medicine wheel is my favorite. These bronze talismans were cast using the bones of cuttlefish. Made by commission, they carry the specific intentions of the healers they were made for: positivity in dark times, deep and rising feminine power, and unconditional love. I love the imperfections in this process. I love casting, and I especially love casting with cuttlefish bones. They're such astonishing and beautiful and strange sea creatures. Cuttlefish casting is an ancient process that leaves no waste behind. The bones are left over from the food industry, and when I'm done with them, they go straight into my compost pile. That's my current work as a metalsmith. As a scholar and an activist, I spent the better part of a decade in the University of California, Los Angeles' Department of World Arts and Cultures, where I studied performances of the myth of liberation in U.S. society. And I got to hang out with a bunch of performance artists. When tuition skyrocketed, I met with students from across the state and then made these banners to express our consensus for the world we wanted to see realized. They were exhibited in Los Angeles' Hammer Museum and are now sometimes carried by students from East LA College in the city's annual May Day rally. When it was time to write my dissertation, my family and I moved north to be caretakers at a children's summer camp. We lived in this big empty cabin with this incredible view. I took the woodworking skills my dad taught me as a child into the camp woodshop, and I filled that cabin with handmade furniture, like this 9-foot dining table and 12-foot bookshelf. We were isolated in those woods when Trayvon Martin was murdered, and all I could do was this to my hoodie. We moved back home to the Midwest when Ferguson erupted after Mike Brown's murder. This banner I made after Eric Garner's murderers were not indicted. Thank you to the Percolator for exhibiting it. I will keep saying their names. I balanced the sorrow with silliness. I hope you saw my collaborator El Chepe and I at last year's Art Car Parade and Busker Fest. This project put a lot of smiles on a lot of faces. Look for us again this year for round 2, Potus Trampañadas. Chepe's here tonight and has pre-order forms if you're interested. Being a scholar of U.S. myth and culture, as well as an artist and an activist, is fun work and serious play. Someday I'll give a Pecha Kucha on the paradoxical nature of mythic consciousness and the compositional tactics I uncovered for shifting cultural patterns, and we can all work on this together. But until then, I've taken up my task of writing new myths for us all. Here's my strategy. Take current events, but write about them as if they happened in some mythic past. Then give them the ending I'd like to see in reality. That way, I'll speak the world into being. I will write stories for the future. Here's the first such story, with a full series of illustrations in the works by Chepe and Astrid. Crazy Horse saw it coming. The children crying, and the black snake threatening all. For years it had slithered across the earth, rising out of the depths to spew its venom into the air, desecrating the water with its waste. Oya, African goddess of the rivers and the rains, felt the beat of the water protector's drums. On the waters and the winds she moved. She greeted and grieved with her sacred sister, White Buffalo Calf Woman. Together they counseled with an ailing Pachamama, and it was decided Oya would send for Oshumare, for who better to take on the black snake than the rainbow serpent? You can read the full story on my website, Thunderbird Brings 3 Fish, and be sure to pick up the illustrated book when it comes out later this year. Until then, have me make you a table or a talisman. I'm Kathleen Williams, but my friends call me Dr. Cat. Thank you for your time.